not in jokes, with a real and in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my...
They get picked off. They're literally following me every day.
Who's they?
Nigga, I'm not telling you they.
Then why?
But I have named a couple people to where I have
The whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment after I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt.
Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar, right? And he picked up the phone, and it was the CEO of Comedy Central. And I listened to him threaten to kill him. He said, I'm not doing this. And then that's when all the incidents started.
Orlando Brown is back in the spotlight, and he's throwing out some serious claims about Katt Williams. He's openly saying Katt's life could be in real danger, and according to him, this isn't new at all. Orlando says both of them have been targeted multiple times, not just once, not twice. Allegedly, Orlando plays into that crazy image on purpose so he can keep talking without getting completely shut down. And here's where it gets even wilder. Katt himself has said similar things before. He's claimed that once he started calling out powerful people in the industry, things turned dark fast. He even said there were attempts to go after his family. So now people are asking again, is Katt really being silenced? And by who?
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months, and I think you've never seen me in a court of law.
But this is where things stop sounding like talk and start feeling real serious. Orlando didn't laugh this part off at all. He straight up said he's being followed, and he made it clear this isn't just paranoia or internet noise. According to him, his life is actually in danger because he keeps speaking on certain people he claims don't want their names out there. He says every time he opens his mouth, the pressure gets heavier and the watch gets closer. Orlando painted a picture of nonstop tension, like eyes are always on him waiting for the next move. No jokes, no characters, just fear mixed with frustration. And the way he said it made people pause, because he sounded dead serious about the risks he's taking every time he speaks.
Saying in the comments that they have to really listen in between the lines of what you're saying, because there's actually a very important message that you're saying without actually saying it.
I always say blatant what I say. I never ever have a code or it's either you hear it or you choose to want to acknowledge it or you don't. Those are the trollers, bro. And should I ever say it was in between the lines, bro?
So you're saying it as it is?
That's on blood. What the fuck is he talking about? What's your brother talking about? Everything I've ever said, bro.
Now this is where Katt Williams enters the picture, and Orlando says their stories line up more than people realize. He explained that both of them have gone through similar situations, especially when it comes to speaking too freely. If you look back at Katt's older interviews, you'll notice he was saying the same things Orlando is saying now.
Has been 1,000. It's always a troller. Well, he's saying this and nah, bro. Nah, man. Nah, I can say it to you. If I say somebody getting bent over the couch, is that a code? He's talking in code. No, the nigga was bent over the couch. Who? Meek Mill?
Katt openly admitted that he stopped talking about the Illuminati after getting stung too many times, and that's his exact wording. He said he didn't fully understand the level of danger he was stepping into back then. According to Orlando, that realization came too late, and once Katt saw the risks, he knew pulling back was the only way to protect himself and his family.
I hear nothing but actual facts out my mouth, bro. I'll die if I lie in front of a camera. That's why you have me here. I will literally die. I will literally get picked off. They're literally following me every day.
Who's they?
Nigga, I'm not telling you they.
Then why?
But I have named a couple people to where I have to tell the truth.
Why mention it then if you're not going to say it?
Because, bro, it's not for you to know.
Back then, nobody really took Katt seriously, and a lot of people brushed him off like he was just blaming everything on the Illuminati. Folks laughed it off and said he was reaching. But as time went on, things around him got way too strange to ignore. There were non-stop run-ins with law enforcement, random arrests, and repeated attempts to lock him up or label him unstable. Fans slowly started thinking maybe he wasn't exaggerating at all. Even after Katt became famous, the trouble didn't stop.
Just know that I'm gonna keep living because of the way I'm supposed to be working.
Okay,
if
but
I'm,
why mention it?
If I work any other way, Prince from Bad Boys. If I work any other way, then that's how that happens. I'm only to tell you what I'm telling you and what I'm permitted to tell you. Anything else other than that is un-Illuminati. And I can't deal with it.
One early moment happened in 2009 at a Walmart parking lot in Georgia, where police took his gun but never charged him. Katt later told Vibe magazine, "This is a witch hunt. It's getting to the point where I feel like I'm being persecuted because this don't make no sense." Then in 2012, authorities accused him of endangering his children, but the case fell apart fast due to lack of evidence. Katt said it was another setup to bring him down. Then
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right.
things got even crazier in 2014 when Katt Williams and Suge were arrested in the same incident, accused of taking a paparazzi camera. The headlines made it seem like they just lost control and went after a random photographer. But Katt later pushed back on that story. He said the media skipped over key details that changed everything. According to Katt, the paparazzi were aggressively provoking them and crossing serious boundaries. He claimed one photographer even tried to film Suge Knight's young child, which made the situation escalate fast. From Katt's point of view, this wasn't about anger or ego. It was about protecting family and responding to behavior that never should have happened in the first place. Once again, Katt felt the truth got buried while the narrative was flipped against him.
I'm saying, if the police come in and raid my place and break into my gun boxes, you're gonna find guns. But these aren't, well, I'm not in a gang. What difference does it make?
Now, you were actually stopped for this and let go because you have a license for it,
No,
right?
this is their 9th time coming to my house. The problem was this time they came to my office and took my kids from an office. Not from my house, from an office. So now when I can't have my kids at my office,
That's an issue.
I must be
Yeah,
the
definitely.
most terrible black dude. Because here's the whole thing. You gonna charge me with child endangerment?
While Katt was fighting arrest after arrest and clearing his name from accusations that didn't stick, the tabloids were running a different story. They worked overtime to paint him as an out-of-control addict spiraling in public. That label started spreading fast, and it stuck even when the facts didn't line up. What made it messier was that some big industry names, including Kevin Hart, appeared to echo that narrative instead of questioning it. That only fed the idea that Katt was losing it, and the public ran with it. Every headline stacked on top of the last, turning confusion into a full-blown character attack. Instead of focusing on the strange details in each situation, the spotlight stayed on tearing him down, making it easier to dismiss anything Katt tried to explain or defend about himself.
After I adopted 7 children and had them for 14 years in this state? Really? You coming after my kids now? Because it was already a witch hunt. Now you want my babies? Yikes. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ended up dead for telling the truth. So as a comedian, I don't think it won't happen to me. I think they've thrown me in jail 36 times in 36 months, and I think you've never seen me in a court of law. That means they're effing with me. And today, they crossed the line, because now they took my babies.
But Kevin didn't stop with that narrative, and he added another sharp comment that shifted the spotlight even more. He suggested that unlike himself, Katt never helped other comedians rise up in the industry. That statement landed heavy, because it quietly framed Katt as the problem instead of someone under pressure. To a lot of people watching, it made Katt look selfish or disconnected rather than targeted. The comment fed into the ongoing story that Katt was difficult to work with and somehow responsible for his own troubles. Instead of questioning why so many strange situations kept happening around him, the focus stayed on his personality. That single jab helped flip public perception and made it easier for critics to dismiss Katt's side of the story altogether.
Beverly Hills. Suge has brought his son with him who's 5 years old. Suge's son runs behind the dumpster and urinates. And a lady films his penis out and then says, "Oh, I thought that was Katt's kid." But that lady said that.
But that claim was completely off because Katt actually has a long history of helping other comedians and artists behind the scenes. Katt doesn't brag about the things he does, but the people he's helped definitely do.
She got jumped on by me. Yeah. Like, this isn't just my word. They had to play the video in court, which showed that her altercation wasn't with a man at all.
Yeah, they don't add that piece.
Nor do they make a retraction.
Right.
Nor do they say, "Hey, that thing we told you about that guy, turns out it was nothing." I got 15 cases that were dismissed. That should be talked about. Why would 15 cases be dismissed?
In 2023, Melba Moore revealed that Katt quietly paid a $75,000 bill to help her get her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And then there's Monique. After she allegedly got blackballed by Oprah and Tyler Perry, Katt stepped up, invited her to be a part of his Dark Matter comedy tour.
Frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your action? You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
One clear example people forget is the late comedian and Moesha star Yvette Wilson, who passed away from cancer in 2012. When she needed help covering medical bills, a close friend started a fundraiser aiming for $25,000. The donation stalled and barely reached halfway. That's when Katt stepped in quietly and dropped $12,000 to push it forward. He didn't stop there either.
Man that was sitting right here on this couch, his name is Katt Williams.
Yes.
Katt Williams and I have a relationship. We're fraternal twins. Now, y'all know that is my fraternal twin brother, non-biological, okay? And I want to tell y'all about my twin brother, Katt Williams, baby. Guess what? I'm going to be joining my twin brother, Katt Williams, on the Dark Matter tour.
Katt went on to cover the rest of Yvette's medical expenses until she passed, without chasing headlines. He showed that same support with comedian Ms. Pat, helping pay for her father's funeral and later inviting her on tour. These moments tell a very different story about who Katt really is.
Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't.
Katt's generosity doesn't stop with comedians, and fans have seen it firsthand. Back in 2013, after a show in Boston, he learned that a fan needed a kidney transplant. Right there, he pulled out $1,000 in cash to help her situation. And that's not even the wildest part.
Oh, me, I'm going on tour with Katt Williams. I don't even know what's the first city was. I get to the city, we all in a room like this, and Katt come in, and I'm excited. I don't want to show my excitement because I don't really know Katt Williams. And he introduced himself and we talking, and he overheard me on the phone. And I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters that my daddy just died. He said, "What you doing?" I said, "My daddy died." He said, "Your daddy died?" I said, "Yeah, he died Monday." I said, "I'm just trying to, do his funeral. Do you mind?" And he said, "No, I don't mind." He went behind the door and came back with a stack of money. And I said, "What is this?" He said, "Go bury your daddy and come back."
People still talk about the time Katt went back to his old neighborhood and handed out around $200,000 to people struggling. Beanie Sigel even spoke on Be Glad TV about watching Katt give $10,000 to each person standing around. On top of that, Katt once took the fur coat off his own back and gave it to a woman in need. These moments rarely make headlines, but they say a lot about who he really is.
And I watched Katt give away $200,000 on a block. In the neighborhood, just going knocking on doors and 10,000.
He would knock on people's doors and just give them money.
He knocked. I'm telling you what I saw.
People he did not know. That's crazy. Wow.
I saw this. One lady came up this house and was like, "Oh, okay." He was asking her, "Was she all right?" This, that, and the third. She was like, "No, I ain't all right. I got to get this, that, and that done. And to my house and blah, blah, blah."
And these are only a few examples, because there are countless stories about Katt helping people quietly behind the scenes. So for Kevin to flat out say Katt never helped anyone doesn't sit right at all. It paints a false picture and ignores years of real actions. Even with industry gatekeepers trying to box him in, Katt somehow dodged every trap thrown his way. Through all the legal drama, not one arrest ever turned into a felony conviction, and he never did real prison time. That alone makes people question the narrative.
And she was like, she said something about how she liked the cat coat. He came right out the joint, full-length mink. Like him and all the security had mink coats. He made them take off their coats. He took off his coat, gave it to him.
So why would anyone want to silence someone like that? The answer is simple. Katt has been calling out powerful figures long before most people caught on. He even said he tried to warn folks about Harvey Weinstein after an alleged meeting involving actresses, but nobody listened back then.
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. And then he offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards. And I was like, what?
And it didn't stop there, because Katt also said he tried to warn people about R. Kelly years before the public narrative finally shifted. According to Katt, he spoke up early when raising concerns wasn't popular or safe to do. Back then, most people brushed it off and treated it like noise instead of taking it seriously. The industry kept moving like nothing was wrong, and Katt was once again labeled as dramatic for saying too much. Looking back now, that warning hits differently. It follows the same pattern people keep noticing with him. He speaks early, gets ignored, and later, the truth comes out. At the time, nobody wanted to hear it, and the message got buried. Now people are questioning how many warnings were dismissed just because they came from him.
Talked about R. Kelly. They canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, T.G. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
But it goes even deeper than that. And this is one of the biggest warnings Katt has tried to put out there. He's been speaking on how certain record labels operate behind closed doors, especially when it comes to rappers and money. According to Katt, some artists are pushed into dangerous lifestyles, reckless behavior, and non-stop pressure, all while contracts stay locked in place. He's claimed that once an artist is no longer around, the label still controls the music, the image, and the profit. The business keeps earning while families are left dealing with the fallout. Katt has said this setup isn't accidental, and that too many cases follow the same pattern to ignore. At the time, people brushed it off, but now, more fans are starting to connect the dots.
These rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up.
And when it comes to Diddy, this is another name Katt has been mentioning for years, long before it was common to question powerful figures like that. Katt has openly hinted that Diddy and certain industry associates were involved in behavior he described as disturbing and wrong. He never framed it as gossip, but more like warnings people should pay attention to. What's wild is how early he was saying this. There's a clip of Katt from way back in 2011 where he talks about it openly, at a time when almost nobody wanted to hear that kind of talk. Back then, people laughed it off or dismissed him as exaggerating. Now, with everything coming to light years later, that old footage is being looked at very differently by fans who feel he was trying to sound the alarm early.
Tapping it, Puff. I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah. Jermaine Dupri, king of the pep. You ask me, babe.
And Katt has said it himself. He's been quietly collecting receipts for years, which makes it clear there are powerful people who would rather see him silent. That alone explains why his name keeps getting dragged through the mud. Voices like his don't pop up often, especially ones willing to speak without fear. So all people can really do now is hope he stays safe and protected. The same goes for Orlando Brown, because the things he's saying raise serious questions too. Do you think industry gatekeepers are really trying to shut Katt down? And do you think Orlando is playing a role just to protect himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if this made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.